Okay, here I'm back. Part 2. Okay, so here we go with part 2. This Witch of Boise is going to be really excited because I've been meaning to share this story for a very long time, and I just never got around to it. So, talking about the Jesus. We were talking about Jesus in the past one, and this one's going to be about crows and Jesus. So, when this was back in 2003, like I said, I was heavily into meditation and heavily into manifesting. I had just read The Holographic Universe by Michael Talbot, and that was it changed my world. It changed my perspective view of what we were able and possible, what we were capable of as humans, as superhumans. We are all superhuman. We all have these abilities to do things and do the supernatural. So let's talk about this story. So my little sister was a big fan. She wanted to go see a concert. I was working on manifesting. I used to win a lot of stuff all the time. So she wanted to go to a concert. It was Good Charlotte. I didn't have. I had just started a new job, so I didn't want to spend money on tickets. So I was like, you know what? I'll win you tickets. I was very confident in that. And sure enough, the radio station was K-Rock. They were giving away tickets, and I called to win tickets for the concert. Next thing you know, the guy tells me I won, and he says, but guess what? You also qualify to win a car. And I was like, oh, that's great. I've never knew anybody who won a car. I thought it was going to be a sham, but whatever. But my coworker, Estella, said, she's like, well, why not you? Why can't you be the winner? And I was like, you're right. Why not me? Okay, so... And then I got home and told my sister about it, and she recommended I walk to the San Fernando Mission Church to pray. She says that miracles, when people pray there, their miracles happen. So I was like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna do this. So the Sunday before the show, I woke up and I didn't eat anything. I didn't drink anything. I decided I'm just gonna walk to the San Fernando Mission Church. That's gonna be my what do you call it? When people fast, that was my sacrifice, I guess you would say. I'm gonna walk, I'm not gonna eat, I'm gonna fast, I'm gonna go. And it was about 5 miles away, so I just started walking, and I got to this was a busy intersection. I got to this, as soon as I left the house, these 3 crows started following me. Every time I'd get to one light post, or not a light post, but like the electric wires, they kept following. Every time I'd reach one, they'd fly over. Every time I'd reach one, they'd fly over. And they followed me for about a mile. Then we get to the main street. This is a huge street. It's called Woodman. And I hit Woodman and Osborne, and these little girls come out of this apartment complex on this one of the busiest intersections there. And I was like, who's letting these little girls just get out of who's letting them walk? They were probably like between the ages of 7 and 9. And so the crows, as soon as the little girls appeared, the crows went away. And now the girls were in front of me the whole time. And they were just playing, laughing. They kept looking back at me, and I'm looking at them, smiling. Like, I felt like maybe I was protecting them on their walk, because who's going to let these kids walk? And they were walking a long way. They probably went like half a mile up. And I was like, who would let their kids out? But I didn't want to talk to them because kids don't talk to strangers. And so they eventually they turned left into another apartment complex about half a mile up, and then as they turned left, the crows appeared. I'm like, okay, they were taking shifts, like a relay race or like tag teaming. So the girls left and the crows came back. So I was like, whoa, okay, and I kept walking, and eventually we got to this. There's a part, that you get to where it's kind of tricky. It's like left, right. I don't know. It's a really tricky area. It's not a natural grid where you just make left, right, left. It's almost like shaped like a delta, or like just shaped like Texas. I don't know. So the thing is, like, I'm like, okay, if I go this way, and so I was nervous that I would make a wrong turn and I'd be, another half a mile of walking. So I saw this family in a champagne colored minivan. And I said, hey, do you guys know where the San Fernando Mission Church is? And they looked at me like I was crazy. And they said, no, we don't know, nothing. They looked at me like, oh, don't talk to her. And I was like, oh, okay, sorry, So I kept walking. Eventually, I found my way, and I was like, I saw this park area, and I know that next to that park, the church is somewhere around there. So I was like, yes, okay. And as I'm getting closer, I have already been walking about another 2 miles. As I start reaching closer to the church, that family appears out of nowhere, and they pull up next to the park, and they open the door, and they're like, hey, we know where the church is. Do you need a ride? And I was like, what? You guys already told me over there that you had no idea what I was talking about. Now you know where this church is, and now you know, oh yeah, that church. And I thought it was very suspicious, and I kind of felt like they were taking me away from my mission. My mission was to walk. And I felt like, and I was tired, and I was hungry, I hadn't eaten, and I was like, oh, I don't think I want to I don't think I want to take that risk. So I said no thank you, and I continued my walk. And eventually I got to the church. I was tired, hungry, and I walk in, and the girl that was she was, I guess it's a museum, but it's also a church, and you got to go through the museum to get into the church area. And the girl wanted to charge me 10 minutes, $5 for 10 minutes of prayer. And I had never heard of that. I was like, what? I've never heard of a church charging somebody to go in to pray. She said, yeah, because it's a museum, and blah. And she started giving me the spiel, and I broke down and told her, listen, you don't realize I just walked, I'm on a mission. I didn't bring any money to like spend on this, I just had my coins that I had, because I didn't have a phone either. I didn't have a phone. I just had my coins to call my sister in case there was an emergency or something. And so she finally let me in, and I went to go pray. She snuck me in, okay? She snuck me into the church, first of all. Which is weird already. And so we go into the church, and she leaves me there, and I'm excited. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go kneel down and pray. And I go and I try to light the candle, and there's no candle. It's a light switch, and you have to put $1 in the box in order to be able to light the candle. I was so mad because, first of all, I was mad that they wanted to charge me to pray, and second of all, I was mad because the fire and the symbolism of a flame, the electricity doesn't compare to that to me, there's an element, the element of fire. And so I was real upset about that, and I just had some coins, and I threw the coins in and lit the thing. And I prayed, but I also talked to God and was explaining how I was upset that, this was all about money, monetary system, and that religion. I was just real mad. I can't really recall the whole conversation, but I know that it was about being pissed off because they were charging to get in, and people shouldn't have to be charged for faith. And that's why I don't believe in churches. Though I do believe in people coming together to pray, because prayer in large groups is very beneficial, and it has a great energy, it's very powerful. But I don't think you need a church. So I'm almost seeing like the burning of the church, like we don't need churches. So I was real upset. Anyway, I was so mad, I didn't even want to walk back home. I found a payphone, I called my sister, and I told her, I was so pissed. I'm like, just come pick me up. I'm not walking back. I'm so angry. So we got back home, and the concert was in a few days, and I think it was the day before the concert, I realized that, well, first of all, I realized, okay, how am I going to get there? This is all the way in Irvine. I'm in the valley. It's, how am I going to get there? And my boyfriend at the time said, I have a really good feeling about this. I will rent you a car. You go. So I was like, okay. And then I noticed that my driver's license was expired. And I was like, shoot, what if they need, I had a feeling like they might need it. So I went the day before the concert to the DMV and got my license renewed. And so my friend Stella, she went with me to the concert, and we get there, and they disqualified 16 people because they didn't have a valid driver's license or it was expired. Then so there was only 34 people in line, so I had a 1 in 34 chance of winning this car. So we have to line up to pick a number. That number will give us our place in line to pick the key. And everybody's scrambling to line up because they want to be first and they want to get in the front of the line. And I knew this girl, she was already kind of in the front, but she got pushed out. And so I felt really bad for her. So I told her to get in front of me. The people behind me were mad, and I told them, well, whoever's meant to win is meant to win. She was very grateful. She's like, thank you. I appreciate it. And so we get to the front. I get my number. My number is number 10. And so I'm 10th in line. And so they tell us, you know, we have a bathroom break. Everybody go to the bathroom. And so I grabbed the key and I put it in my pocket because that's my car. You know, I don't want to lose my key. I'm at a concert. I don't want to lose my key. I'm going to put it securely in my pocket. That is my car. That was what I was saying. While everybody else is holding their key saying, oh, I hope I win. Oh God, please let me win. And I went into the bathroom and I meditated in the bathroom on visualization of me driving home with that car. I also told God, it's okay if I don't win, because there was still another opportunity to win another car that weekend. There was 2 cars, Good Charlotte and Newfound Glory. And I was just meditating and praying and said, if somebody else is meant to win it, let them win it. You know, I know that I have another chance, so it's okay. And still had the key in my pocket, everything. It was time to line up again. We line up to go start the car, and I get to the front. I'm number 10. The lead singer from Good Charlotte, it was Joel. He said, he pulled his arm out and he said, why don't you rub my arm for good luck? He didn't do this with anybody else but me. He pulled his arm out and he had Jesus Christ tattooed on his arm. So I almost like had my jaw on the floor. I just looked at it and was just rubbing at it he probably thought I was a weirdo. I'm like, oh my fucking God. I got in the car and it's stick shift. At the time I didn't drive stick shift. I don't know how it operates. And I just turned the key, and since I didn't hear the car start, I thought I lost. But the guy grabs my arm. He's like, you won! And all of a sudden you see the windshield wipers going. So I won the car. I was like super, super stoked. The whole process with the crows and the synchronicities that led up to it, the church, the walk into the church, and the Jesus Christ being tattooed on the arm, it was my reminder that there is more out there than meets the eye. And what's this Jesus energy, this the Christ consciousness energy is real, and everybody, you know, it's not fear-based. If it's, you know, it's love. It's all love. And if it's fear-based, it is not Jesus. If there's a religion that judges, that hates, that is not associated with Jesus. And you know, I'm gonna speak from the energy that I got when he touched my forehead, anointed. I said he anointed me. When he touched my forehead was not only was the opening of my third eye, the synchronicities and everything up the wazoo after that, like I was fully after that. It was just a reminder that love is all that matters. And judging is, you know, I see a lot of people judging lately, judging others, judging experiences, and until you're in that person's shoes, or you have ever been in that person's shoes, you have no room to judge. And even when I know that somebody, something that I used to do, if I see somebody doing it, I don't judge them because I've been there. So there's a certain feeling, only people that are, I don't want to say low vibrational, only people that have not met their highest self yet, will judge others, because when you're judging others, you're judging yourself. I don't know why that's popping up, but I just thought this was great. And you know, ever since then, the more I connect with nature, the more the crows appear, and they're speaking to us on a subconscious level that we consciously don't understand, but our energy remembers and understands, because we were once that bird. We were, you know, so we know all these languages. We know these languages. We feel them. And the language of nature, because we are nature. So that's all for my story time, the Jesus story, connecting to this Jesus story. And I hope you guys all enjoyed it, and namaste.